What's shaking, people? It's your boy Doomkiller HD. Sit back and relax. You are now rocking with the best. Let's go! It's the weekly wrap up where we give you the news. Break it down bite size so it's easier to consume. Discussing the hottest game and thought of what's coming soon. Is it real or is rumor? Homie, that's up to you. Fire or trash reaction. Live viewers call in. No cap conversation. We going all in. It's the weekly wrap up, so enjoy the show. You're now rocking with the best. Let the good times roll. Come on. What is shaking, people? It's your boy Doomkiller HD back with another weekly wrap up. Sit back and relax. You are now rocking with the best. And this star-studded panel tonight is going to be crazy because we're talking directly about the PlayStation Showcase, but more importantly, Spider-Man 2. So without further ado, let me get my co-host up in here. What's good with Mr. J. Coon Prime?
What's good? We have got a ton to talk about tonight. Cannot wait.
I'm hyped. You hyped?
Oh, yeah. Beyond hype.
But before we get the show started, you know I have to ask you the question I ask you every week. What game did you play, J. Coon?
Well, the hat is pretty much a dead giveaway because Season of the Deep, Season 21 of Destiny 2 began this week, and it's a banger. And they treated us because normally we have to wait until about midway through a season to get the brand new dungeon. But we got it. Week 1, Ghosts of the Deep.
Okay.
Final farewell to the Taken King. And outside of that, my community chose another single-player adventure for me to start, and that was none other than Transformers Devastation.
I actually love that game.
Which is perfect, because I don't know if you saw the leaks. I want to say you did.
I didn't.
Oh, next season of Fortnite, none other than Optimus Prime is going to be joining Fortnite.
Oh, I did see that leak.
Yeah,
you threw that in you threw that in the Fortnite chat or not. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm hyped. Cool. I'm pretty hyped. And then on top of that, one last thing: shout outs to everybody currently attending Combo Breaker in Chicago or Summer Games Done Quick in Minnesota, supporting Doctors Without Borders. If you are not watching us, you better be watching one of them. And go donate. It's for a great cause.
Sounds good to me. Yo, we got a crazy panel tonight. Let's I don't even know who to start off with. Let's start off with the person who showed up first and on time, Mr. Johnny Rocker.
How's it going, gang?
How you doing?
Everybody having a good one?
Yeah, it's about to be hype, so I'm hyped. You know,
other than having to eat on a schedule now, I'm doing great.
Oh, yeah. My next dude is Venom Incarnate right now. We're going to call him Symbiote Dude probably for the entire night. But what's good with Mr. Slice starter man number 2?
Hey, everyone. It's your boy. Hey.
Hey.
So, it's so difficult because when it gets like past midnight, it's kind of like it takes me a while to boot up. You know what I'm saying? Like about halfway through the show, I'll be talking about all sorts of crap. But right now, I'm just like, hey, guys. Yeah.
Hey,
yo, I heard there's
I hope everyone had a good one.
I heard there's a new mass vigilante in the vicinity right now. Pewter Morales. Okay. Hello, good sir.
How y'all doing today? I feel good. I'm on my Ray Charles. I don't see nothing. I don't see no hate, no toxicity.
And the original masked vigilante himself, Mr. King Greek, is also in the building. What's good with the King Greek?
Hi, everybody. Pleasure to be here. I hope all of you guys are doing well.
I'm doing swell.
Okay, send him out and make him do his intro again. I need more energy.
He gonna get hyped. Let him
My man just pulled off a 14-hour stream. I think he is way beyond hype.
Yeah, I've been lurking for most of the day on it.
Yes, indeed.
How's my hero, Greek?
It's going.
I was watching him play yesterday. I thought he was playing Fortnite. That game looks actually pretty damn good to me, but he was getting his ass put when I was watching. I was like, oh God, they got some sweats in this already. You know what I'm saying?
I swear to God, Doom, when you come in stream hopping, you have some of the best timing ever. Like you come in as I am just browbeating the shit out of somebody I'm trying to teach. You come in when he's getting his ass whooped. Like, what? You go in on Peter Odin, what? When he just got done with a 10-game losing streak? Like, what's the deal?
when I'm watching Peter Odin, he's normally running with QMR Rage or Wicked or somebody like that, and they catching dubs on Fortnite. So it ain't my fault if you trying to teach somebody how to play and they getting their ass whipped. I'm finding that hilarious because I know that you are trying your hardest. He's trying his hardest.
So hard.
And it's just not working out for y'all. And it happens like that. So I'm like, yo, what kind of lessons is you teaching people? You know what I'm saying?
So in my defense, I feel like I was very, very clear on what I told him to do. And
6 slashes with the sword and then 1 great slash at the end. Then you should be able to hop around, hit him with the shotgun for it. Man, how that man supposed to remember all of that shit, bruh? Come on.
He uses the weapon enough, he should have known. But like some people just don't kind of grasp like the pinpoint efficiency that you need sometimes in what is considered in-game content. That just taking that casual mindset to it.
I'm never
it's
doing
just not going to do it
with your ass ever, sir.
I wasn't even doing a raid.
Damn. Anyways, last but not least, let's bring on the man, Mr. Sadat the Gamer. How you doing, good sir?
What's shaking, people? It's your boy Sadat the Gamer. Yo, now rocking with the
what
best.
do you do, Rag Nation?
My God. Anyways, this looks like a round table down there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually pretty hype about this.
It's gonna be awesome.
Let's get right on into it. I mean, we got a full stacked house right now. Let's get this popping. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the chat. 2 Hoarder Gamer, Flux, Captain Tate, Toledo Plays, Supreme, Wicked, Nava, Float. Everybody else who up in here, I see y'all, man. Thank y'all for coming through. Let's get it popping though. We got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and myself equals 7 people on this damn panel. Keep your answers cool, not extra long, not extra short. But
we did something DC could never do. We united the 7.
Let me turn around and do what the deep did.
Why? Never mind. J. Coon Prime, what did you think of the PlayStation Showcase, sir?
I was hyped for it. God damn it, Peter. Well, it wasn't bad enough that like he did that, and like for the first 2 days of the new Destiny season, because it's called Season of the Deep, I just had a big picture of the deep on my stream in the corner.
Oh God!
Why does it look like King Greek fought Homelander?
Yo, that's wild.
And lost.
That's a wild thing to say.
PlayStation Showcase was ultimately like, I don't want to like overglorify it. I'm gonna say it's decent because while there were like 3 or 4 things that I got insanely excited about, the rest of it I just didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like the moment it hit PlayStation VR, I went to the bathroom.
Hopefully he wasn't on stream doing that. Johnny Rocker, what did you think of the PlayStation Showcase?
John,
I thought
As soon as the game, he doesn't like just wets his pants.
right. Yeah, I was probably a 7 out of 10 on it. The Metal Gear stuff got me super hyped. I mean, I'm a Kojima nerd, just full on. So pretty excited about that. The Dark Souls Blood Samurai Tashima, whatever that game was, like that looked pretty rad. And that anime co-op thing kind of had me curious. Had like some almost Phantasy Star Online kind of vibes. So, but and Spider-Man's badass. So,
yeah. Of course. Black Noir, aka King Greek. What you got for us, man? What did you think of the PlayStation Showcase, my dude? Other than Spider-Man, which is what I was primarily looking at it for, it wasn't as bad as I feel like everybody's saying. We got what we wanted, but you also got updates for some of the more anticipated games like Metal Gear Solid, which people have been waiting for. So it wasn't outstanding, but it was good for what it was. Okay. Pewter Morales, what you got for us? What you think about the PlayStation Showcase, bro?
There was a lot of games that copied off of Final Fantasy. I just kept looking at every game and I was like, why is this Final Fantasy? And then they actually showed Final Fantasy. I'm like, oh, this looks good. Oh man, there was like 3 games maybe I was enjoying out the whole entire thing. I give it a 5 out of 10. And how in the blue blazes do y'all not know that was Kraven the Hunter? Oh my God, it's Wolverine! Are you kidding me? Stop it.
Who the hell said that?
Who said Wolverine?
I heard a
I've been
couple.
watching a
I
lot of
heard
reaction channels, and they just was
I
like,
mean, I
heard a
just
couple
saw
Wolverines.
Boozer from Days Gone. That's all I saw. I saw Booze Man. I was like, Booze Man, is that you? Like, and turns out it was. So yeah.
That's just
It's
bad.
bad.
That's bad. Symbiote Dust. What you got for us?
You know what? I'm gonna have to sort of maybe come out of this in 2 directions, right? Because I've got to say, a lot of these indie games look exactly the same to me. Like and like these Metroidvania style, like 2D like things, right? And there was 2 games besides Spider-Man that I can remember. Sorry, 3 that I can remember right now that is like that actually caught my eye. One of them was like the indie game where the dude pops out the book. And he goes into like different art styles, and like I can't even remember the name of it, so that's not a good sign. The other one was the Splatoon attempt by Square Enix. Like, you got rid of Tomb Raider for that. Just remember that. And the third one was Phantom Blade, because that looks sick. But the problem is with that is that, like, and I was telling my friends at the time, I said, like, this gameplay looks amazing, but I guarantee that, like, we'll get in there and I'll just get shanked by like a ninja in 2 seconds and be like, wow, where's the gameplay that I was promised, bro? Where's the parry? I didn't mean to get stabbed up by Greek and like wherever they're at. Just I want to, I want to slice and dice, but yeah, no, it was one of them sort of like a lot of it was blurring because I was waiting for the main event. I'm just gonna be honest.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. So not the gamer. What you got for us as far as the PlayStation Showcase?
I gave it a B. I had my expectations firmly in check because I really at this point was only there for Spider-Man 2 gameplay, and it was just a matter of waiting for that. Everything else was a bonus. Like, I just was like, all right, as long as I get Spider-Man 2 gameplay, this is a W. And along the way, I'll probably see some games that I like. I'll see some games that I predicted or knew was going to happen, and I'll probably get surprised by something. And again, that's exactly what played out. Obviously, the God tier gameplay demo for Spider-Man 2, Phantom Blade, one of the best trailers I've ever seen. The Metal Gear Solid remake that I told everybody was about to happen. The Alan Wake 2 looked pretty good. Helldivers 2, Dragon's Dogma 2, those look pretty interesting. I'm curious about the new Bungie game. I thought the trailer was awful, but the actual game itself sounds interesting in theory. I think overall was solid. We heard later on that Sony could have shown a lot more, and they held back partially because apparently the Last of Us factions completely shit the bed internally. And
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal, I heard is actually ready in a thing. Ghost of Tsushima 2 is actually in development. I think we're going to learn more about some of these games during the Summer Game Fest. I think because of the timing, Sony may have thought, okay, we're going to save some stuff for some of these other showcases because the last showcase happened right in September. There was nothing else for them to hold. So I think that's kind of what happened here. There was like, well, we got some stuff we'll show here, and then there's a bunch of events that we also want to have some present at. So I think over the course of the next month, everybody is going to be back on the PlayStation bandwagon, and Xbox players will stop coping so hard.
I can go along with that. Yeah, they were probably holding some shit back for Summer Games Fest because they don't want to be the only person there that didn't show anything.
Okay, I got another question for you guys, starting with you, Mr. J. Coon Prime.
Yes,
what
sir.
game were you hoping to see but wasn't showcased at the PlayStation Showcase?
There's a couple, but I would have to go with Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Johnny Rocker.
Man, I was right there alongside Pewter with that Twisted Metal. Like, I need it.
Greek, anything that you was hoping to see that they just said, nah, we ain't doing that?
Honestly, I would say no. Yeah, the most anticipated thing for me was Spider-Man 2.
Okay. Peter Morales.
Definitely Twisted Metal. I was looking so forward to that. I've been following that game development for about like 2 years now, and it's been jumping from publisher to publisher to publisher to publisher to publisher. So I'm waiting.
What you got for me, Stardust?
I wanted Insomniac to, after spitting in my mouth, also spit in my eyes. I wanted Wolverine on there as well.
You want to
And bear in mind, the spitting ain't a negative, all right? I was getting ready to be like, after every single drop, all right? Let me tell you.
Jesus.
I cannot, bro.
You think it sounded like a bad thing? Sounded like I was getting mugged off. Nah, sir. All right, listen.
Talk about a mukbang on Starter Man too. Okay.
Oh my gosh, why? Okay.
I just watched the trailer. I should probably call Slade. See, Slade, you good? Okay, he's fine. Yeah.
I was streaming on Slip's thing, and I actually broke the sound barrier on my microphone because I started screaming when the trailer come on, and you could hear my mic just say no, no more.
What game did they not showcase that you was hoping to see, Mr. Sadat the game?
Well, Jeff Grubb shattered my dreams by announcing ahead of time that Ghost of Tsushima 2 wasn't getting shown off. So I was hoping maybe another peek at Wolverine, but probably not going to happen. What really surprised me and what I wanted to see more is Stellar Cake, because that game was supposed to come out this year, and I was surprised that she didn't pop up at the PlayStation Showcase, because we needed that for the culture.
I would have to say the one game that I was hoping they would at least give us more info on that we did not get any info at all on was Suicide Squad. Like, I was like, okay, at least can we see something? What's going on? How y'all doing? Is anybody in the background? No, nothing. It was like, yeah, that game don't exist no more. Like,
I mean,
we're not going to see that again until Q4.
Summer Games Fest, maybe?
Hell no. That game got pushed all the way to 2024. They're
God, you
coming
can
out in
concur,
February,
right? You could
on the
concur.
33rd.
Q4 is when we'll see anything again.
I genuinely think Suicide Squad is probably the first superhero game that I've sort of lost complete interest in before I've even played it. And it's not even that it's bad. It's not even that it's a game I won't want to play. It's not even that. It's just that it's so like, we're going to delay it a bit more because people moaned on Twitter and we didn't like that. All right, well, listen.
They literally don't have enough time. They literally don't have enough time to make this presentable in any meaningful way. Like, remember, we just got a 15-minute whole presentation at the State of Play a few months ago, and these trailers and presentations take up to 6 months to even put together. So there's no way they're doing some kind of massive reshuffling or whatever they're working on and getting something ready for a Summer Game Fest. There's just no way.
I mean, I'd buy it anyway because obviously, but like, it's like whenever people sort of like, I see on Twitter people talking about how excited they are for it and that. I used to sort of get involved in those conversations. Now I'm just a bit like, whatever you say, boss.
I'll say this though.
That's what I was see, but that's the thing though, Star. Like, you lost your excitement, right? If you would have saw something and it looked good, wouldn't you think your excitement would come back? Because it's like you said, it's not a game that you don't want to play.
It's not dead. Like, no, it's one of them that if they showed something off at wherever, right, at the end of the year, and it looked like insane, then yeah, I'm back on the bandwagon, you know. But I think like at the moment, I think they got to do something. They got to do something. Basically, which is what they're doing.
It'll have to be something insane at this point to get a new, like something like a Bizarro DLC announcement or something. Like,
they have to literally show the Superman fight to get people. You know what I mean? Like,
that'd be so crazy.
Look at what Spider-Man 2. They gave us 12 minutes for
12
not even a final build at that. They're not even done with the game. They gave us that. That's crazy.
That was like the first. That's Act 1. You can tell it's Act 1. You know what I mean? Like,
that's barely scratching the surface. And Najee Jeter said at the at MomoCon what we got for that 12-minute demo was like barely 5% of the game.
I think
That's
what
good.
we got in that little gameplay bit was the equivalent to the bridge sequence in Miles Morales and the City Hall bombing in Spider-Man 1, where that's like the first act, huge set piece. And then we move on to like the middle bit, and then obviously, because it goes into like 3 acts.
We gonna talk about Spider-Man. We gonna do that.
Oh,
Let's you know what? This is the question. This is the question for y'all. Starting with you, Mr. J. Coon Prime. Name one game other than Spider-Man 2 that you are excited for as far as what they showed at the showcase. Like what other game besides Spider-Man 2? And we'll talk about that game. So let's go. Destiny 2, the what is it? The final circle or the final square?
Shape. The final shape.
What is the final shape? Explain the final shape.
Trapezoid.
I can tell you straight up what the final shape is.
Is
final
mid,
shape-
is mid a shape?
Oh.
Get him out of here.
Oh.
Get him out of here.
Oh,
Get him out.
He's serious. He's like, no.
Yeah,
I'm not
get him
gonna
out.
speak into
not the Jay
No,
Sean Blast
the
treatment.
final shape is what here's a lore minute. The witness is seeking the final shape. The final shape is nothing. The galaxy of nothing. Everything dead, gone. That is the final shape.
So
Canonically.
basically, right?
Yeah.
So y'all playing like a suicidal mission to save everything or save nothing.
Stopping the witness or everything dies. Yeah.
Okay,
What
are they?
sounds
Some-
hilarious
what-
as hell.
Save the world.
That don't sound fun.
Save the
Say
galaxy.
the cheerleader said.
What are they? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
I'll say this about Suicide Squad. If it is releasing first quarter 2024, they are screwed. Because first quarter 2024, guess what comes out? The final shape. They will lose by default. Especially if it's still going to be a looter shooter, it's going to lose.
I don't know. I think a new game versus something that has had.
I don't think there's much. I don't think there's much overlap there.
Yeah, I think
between those two fan bases.
Suicide Squad will do just fine. Anybody else want to talk about Destiny in its final shape? Anybody? Y'all good?
I'll say thank God for the writer's strike because now we have Nathan Fillion back because he needs a paycheck. So
Incoming Heroes 2.
Wow. Say this chili to say the galaxy. Killer Witness, say the word. Anyway, Johnny Rocker. One other game besides Spider-Man that really excited you that was at the show.
That would be Metal Gear.
Metal Gear
Right?
Solid.
Like, oh,
Nah,
please break David
I'm
Hayter
not a
back.
big Metal Gear person. I have really know very little about Metal Gear. So is this like a remake? Is this a new game? Is what's going on?
it's a remake of the third game, which is
Okay.
the beginning of the timeline.
So I'm gonna ask everybody on the panel this: y'all spending your money on Metal Gear Solid?
You goddamn right.
Johnny
Yeah.
Rock, of course. King Greek, you spending your money on Metal Gear?
Not a Metal Gear fan.
I hear you. Pewter Morales, Metal Gear money.
Yeah, they can have my money.
Okay. Spider-Man 2, Starter-Man.
I've never played a Metal Gear game before, so I don't think I'd buy this one.
It's the
either.
perfect time. It's the perfect time too. That's why they're bringing it back because a lot of new people don't know about Metal Gear, so you might as well jump in.
He's
don't know.
right. Honestly, we haven't had a new Metal Gear in over a decade.
It's not tickled me, lads. I've
We
I've
have
watched
been
this-
waiting
It's not-
Okay, so what
It's just
about
not
It
tickled
didn't
me
make
in
him
that
audibly
way.
moan, so he's not
It's
interested.
not. It didn't make my Metal Gear Solid, so I'm just not interested.
Wow.
You know.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Not
That's
you
well
having
I'm
a-
here all night. I'm here all night.
What
Dr.
about
Gamer,
yes,
Dr.
Metal
Gamer,
Gear?
Dr. Gamer, is Metal Gear Solid remake getting your money, sir?
I mean, it can get an email request for a review code. I didn't.
hate this guy.
I didn't
That's a
see.
good answer.
I mean, my channel is mainly about superhero stuff. So if it doesn't fall under that, then I usually only take it on unless the developers send me a review copy. Because nothing about that trailer made me go, I need it. You know,
Not even him popping up
No,
out the water with the face and
it was kind of like
close-up
it was.
like that.
I was just sitting there the whole time, like, what was this? Was Jurassic Park? Is this
Oh,
the
I made a
dinosaur
joke that it
game?
was Lake Placid game. Like I straight up did. I had. No
I
clue
thought it
what
was an evolution game. Like Never mind. Anyway, King Greek. One game other than Spider-Man 2 that you were excited for in the showcase. We'll talk about it, bro.
If I really had to think about it, I would honestly say Final Fantasy 16. And that's just because I've been a fan of the series since I picked up 13 years ago. So those are games I usually enjoy playing them all the time, going back, just understanding what the story is, because Final Fantasy is a very complicated lore, like the damn near as complicated as comics, if I'm being honest. And 16 is the start of a whole new universe, a whole new storyline. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to play that them all the time.
J. Coon, Final Fantasy getting your money?
The jury is still out. I want to say yes, but at the same time, no, because with J. Coon the fighter potentially coming back, if it's not on my radar already, it's probably not gonna be.
Damn. Johnny Rocker, Final Fantasy taking your loot?
Oh yeah, love Final Fantasy. I'm gonna be poor, man. It's just gonna happen. Everything's in my wheelhouse, man.
Yo, I ain't even mad at it. Pewter Morales, we getting that money up out you for that Final Fantasy, sir?
It's a no from Square Enix for me. They dropped the ball on one of my favorite games and didn't even care about it. They threw him under the bus. Didn't even want to put
throwing this Final Fantasy under the bus.
Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, everything Square Enix. Forspoken, bye-bye. Gotta go.
Dang.
Spider-Man. About to cut a promo over here.
Yeah.
Spider Symbiote, what you got? They taking your money?
I'm only really interested in the Final Fantasy VII remakes universe thing, continuation, so I'm not really bothered about 16, 15, 300. Like, this is the first time I've ever heard someone say, yeah, I got into a series at number 13. And that not sound weird. Do you see what I'm saying? Like this, I don't know, man. I think 16 is daunting. I'll just stick with 7.1, 0.2, 0.3. At least I get what's happening, you know?
He's right, though. Final Fantasy is the only one you can say, like, oh, I started at 9. And it makes sense. Like,
that's crazy.
Final Fantasy is the only series you can do that.
It's like Fast and Furious movies.
Love it. Love Fast and Furious movies.
If it's not about what, it's not about family. But anyway, so Dr. Gamer, Final Fantasy 16. Is it taking your money, sir?
That's going to be another one. I'll be hitting up my PR contact at Square Enix about. They hooked me up with Forspoken, so I'll definitely let them send me Final Fantasy 16 as well. It looks fun. I haven't played Final Fantasy since 10-2, so this
10-2. There's like 2s and 3. No, you know what? Don't even answer that. Never mind. Pewter Morales. One game other than Spider-Man that you were excited for at the showcase, and we'll talk about it.
Can I go with 2, please?
No.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Dogma 2.
Good choice.
That looked interesting to me, and I don't even know what the hell that was. I was like, whoa, that looked dope, though.
The first one was one of the greatest games of all time, so for them to bring back the second one with some really great graphics says a lot. So they put some work in. I can't wait to play this game.
Quick sum up for you, Doom. Dragon's Dogma is Capcom's Dragon Age.
Okay. J-Con Prime, Dragon Dogma 2, taking your money?
Negative.
Johnny Rocker?
Johnny Rocker's gonna be so poor.
Johnny, you really gonna be broke for real, bro.
I'd like to announce I'm selling a kidney. By the way, if anybody's interested.
I'll take a third.
Comes with a side of diabetes.
Oh God. King Greek, Dragon Dogma 2, taking your loot.
Not a Dragon Dogma fan, unless it has Ben Affleck in it.
That's dumb.
Ooh, I like that reference.
Obscure, but
I'll allow it. That's a classic.
Yeah,
it is, but it's Pewter Odin, Dragon Dogma money. Oh, you the one who. Never mind. Stardust, Dragon Dogma.
I'm not. No.
You don't need. Do you even know
His
that?
dragon didn't dogma.
His dragon didn't dogma.
I didn't dogma all over the place. All right,
Bro, you are on one tonight, sir. That symbiote really is.
Here,
Got you.
listen, you need to have my shades.
Where is
my
Bully
shades are
Maguire?
somewhere at the moment.
Bro,
Shades are somewhere else. at the
You
moment.
really get to be Bully Maguire now. Like you really can envelop that symbiote, sir.
If there's not a thing where when Peter's wearing the symbiote, you can interact with like the citizens. If he's not just doing the finger guns and stuff like that, then I'm not interested. And I want Insomniac to give it another year in the oven so they can work on those animations for me.
Just for the boy.
So they can. Yeah.
Dragon Dogma. You calling your PR people, or you gonna spend your money to that?
We'll see. The trailer made my dragon wiggle a little bit. Well, I was never a fan. I didn't really know much about the series. The only thing I knew about Dragon's Dogma going in is that it had an anime adaptation on Netflix that was absolute dog water. So when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this might actually be the closest thing I'm going to ever get to Fable in my lifetime," because Xbox is definitely fumbling hard on that one. So
Good Lord, God, yeah, they are.
That might have to be my substitute.
Slight Stardust. One game other than Spooderman that you saw at the showcase that you liked, that got you a little excited, sir. That Major Dragon Dogma.
Man. I actually think Marvel Spider-Man 2 gave me short-term memory loss because the moment that game appeared, I forgot about every single one.
Can I answer for him?
And I had to go back and I had to go and look at the other games. So I think the game that I probably like out of all of them not more than that, but just enough is Phantom Blade, probably out of all of them.
Phantom Blade.
I'll go with him. Phantom Blade looked impressive.
Was that the sword?
Yeah.
Yo, that game.
The one where you have a week to live.
But you know what though? On the serious, that game looked super sick to me. But I don't know if I spend my money on it, because if I actually have to do that combo where he would like, I'm like, bro, I'm old. I got arthritis in my fingertips. My hands sometimes just like to just crumple up like that, and I'm not doing that. That's too much for me. But
that's what I was worried about. That's what I mentioned earlier.
That combo looks sick, though, bro.
The gameplay looks incredible, but then you get the sort of like actual in-game footage of like an average Joe playing it, and you're gonna get shanked up by like a Greek-looking enemy or something.
Dude, what if they let us use one of those arcade joysticks?
Kick the other one in the chin. I lost it though. That was crazy to me.
Yeah, that was class. To be honest.
What's the name of that game again?
Phantom Blade.
Phantom Blade. J-Coon Prime. Is Phantom Blade taking your money?
Most likely.
I'm scared to ask Johnny, is Phantom Blade getting your money, sir?
Johnny, do you want to put the hell out of the mortgage now or after?
Right.
Yo, if you look, I'm about to tell y'all like this right now. Please go subscribe to this man's Twitch. Help him hit that.
I just started YouTube.
And subscribe to his
YouTube
too.
Like and subscribe, bro. I can finally say that shit. It's your boy Johnny Bachman coming at you.
Seriously,
like
help
those
this
other
man
guys
hit
and buy your
affiliate. He's not
subscribers,
affiliate.
okay?
Hit partner on Twitch so he can afford some of these games. Yo, Johnny
Gonna need a Phantom Blade to cut out the kidney.
Absolutely.
My dude King Greek, the Masked Wonder, Phantom Blade money. How about you? Is they getting it?
Not a fan.
Dang, bruh. You like the Grinch on the panel tonight. You ain't buying.
He really is.
He didn't like the fact that the game used his likeness without permission.
They gotta pay this man.
I've retired from Soulsborne's games. It's just
I don't think
Is
it's
it a Soulsborne game?
I mean, it's pretty. It looks like it pretty much, and if I'm right, that's even more reason for me to like it.
We don't know, to be fair. Just because it's desaturated doesn't mean it's automatically a Soulsborne game.
Yeah, like I
just because the brightness is turned down to 0.
Like not even Sekiro moved like that.
Yo,
See,
you
I got
catching
like
that?
Ninja Gaiden vibes, right?
Thank you.
Right. Pewter Odin is Soul Blade catching your loot?
I'm gonna try to get it for the free 99.
I ain't mad at that. I mean, if I get it for free 99, that's a whole different story. But anyways, I said that the game. Are you calling your agent or are you paying for it, bro?
Yes. I'll call my agent for the collector's edition statue. if I don't get it, that's a pre-order.
Oh, he said the whole pre-order. You know what, dude? You a big Ghost I can't say that.
Best game ever. My favorite.
Yes.
My favorite
Go to GameStop.
My favorite game of all time. Instant Cop.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely can see you're gonna be probably streaming that on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, like and Kick, like, you know what, this is what I'm doing right now. Come catch this combo where I stab you in the throat and kick you in the chin at the same time. You the bitch, you come on, come get it.
I'm gonna have the sweatiest stream. I'm going on hard.
My man gonna be pop locking and dropping people.
See, this man gonna hit an RKO out of nowhere for some reason. I don't know, bruh. Anyways, y'all ready for this? Because I know the chat ready to talk about.
You didn't answer your own question though.
Wait.
You're
I
not
still got two more people. I still got one more person. Myself and Sadat the Game. I apologize. I'm hyped to talk about Spider-Man 2. But we're not gonna talk about Spider-Man 2 because Pewter ruined it and said that we forgot ourselves. So we gonna go ask
definitely the guy that was like, teacher, we have homework.
I'm the teacher. I got an apple for you, sir. Teacher's
Here's
pet,
a
baby.
muffin.
As soon as the bell rings, we fucking you up.
Sadat the Game, hit me with one game other than Spider-Man. Ooh, was Dragon Dogma your game? Not Dragon Dogma. Soul Blade your game?
Phantom Blade Zero.
Phantom Blade.
Phantom Blade Zero was gonna be my pick, but Stardust colonized it, of course, as his people like to do. But that
wearing red as well. It's very awkward.
That was the only other game besides Spider-Man that made me actually scream. But the other one I'd say piqued my interest was definitely Helldivers 2. It gave me big Outriders vibes, but in a good way. Mm-hmm. And I like the idea of going to the different planets. It looked like Starfield, but not ass.
While the Helldivers trailer was going on, all I kept hearing was just Starship Troopers and asking myself, would you like to know more?
During that whole trailer, all I kept thinking in my head was service guarantee citizenship. Guarantee citizenship.
I'm doing my part.
And what was the name of that game again, good sir?
Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2. J. Coon Prime. Helldivers 2 taking your money?
Free 99.
Johnny Rocker.
Of freaking course it is.
Come on!
We're going all in, baby.
Don't forget that Johnny is one of the variety streamers that we all know. You know what I mean? So he kind of need that.
Damn.
Need all that.
Interest at all, Mr. King Greek?
I genuinely have no idea what Helldivers is.
Same.
Damn. Pewter Odin.
That'll be a fat no.
Ooh. Stardust.
I remember literally diddly squat about that game. Like, you just gave me the name, and I'm like, that was there.
First
talking about
Spider-Man's all about Spider-Man.
All right, let's get past this real quick so we can get to Spider-Man. My game that I actually had no clue was even in existence that came out. That's going to come out was Immortals of Avium. That game looked crazy to me. It was like a Doctor Strange game without Doctor Strange to me. That's what it looked like to me. I was like, okay, this looks like something I could play with my friends because it looked like it had some kind of co-op, maybe crossplay going on, and the magic spells looked cool in it. So that it kind of looked like a little Final Fantasy-ish, but with actual gameplay. So that was the game for me. And nobody on this panel probably even remembers what the hell I'm even talking about, but it looked really good to me.
No, I saw the trailer. They had a bunch of trailers for it before.
I had no clue what the hell it was. I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" It looked when he did like that, and he had the little, the little Doctor Strange looking glow up. That's what got me. I was like, "Okay, that's fire." Immortals of Avium. You even interested in that, J. Cole Prime?
I think it looks really, really good, but I feel like it's an unfortunate victim of circumstance where it's like my eyes on other things right now.
Something else is Johnny.
No, I want to see more.
Okay. All right.
His pet bird just breathed a sigh of relief.
I know.
It's like, I can eat now.
Don't tell me, Daddy.
Get some beans now. King Greek, you gonna co-op that with me, dog, or no? Not at all.
I don't know. I would have to see. I mean, from what I hear, it's pretty much like Call of Duty, but with magic instead of guns. So, I mean, if I have, I won't say if I have the funds, but I can get the funds. But I don't know. We'll see. Because we'll have to see how I feel about it after I see more.
So you're in the same boat with Johnny. Got to just see a little bit more. Pewter Morales, what you got? You might be a little bit interested in that Immortals of Avium, sir.
I just saw 1,000 lifetimes, and I would not be getting that game.
I'm not gonna lie, watching Pewter do this Doctor Strange thing, it didn't look like he was casting a portal. It looked like he was like satisfying.
He looked like he was stimulating.
He looked like he was like, I know what I'm doing. I've been here before, and in actuality, he's like rubbing a belly button. Like, I've got you, girl. What was the question?
Immortals of Avium, any interest at all?
Oh yeah. I like to class those types of games where they've got like two-handed weapons as the BioShock genre, and I really like BioShock. So maybe I'd have to see more on it though, which is basically stealing everyone else's answer, but making it my own, the British way.
Through the cutting use of flags.
We calling agents, we pre-ordering, or we catching it at GameStop for the low.
I don't know. I wasn't really fully sold on Borderlands School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. I think I might have to do a gameplay deep dive or trying to see what kind of the features are, because I enjoyed Tiny Tina's Wonderland for all of a month. And that game looked way more interesting personally. So we'll have to see what Avion has other than particle effects.
I want to play.
I'm not mad at that answer at all. I'm not mad at that answer at all. But I'm laughing my ass off. You said Pewter was like Ned trying to open up.
I think Pewter was more like Ned with MJ when Peter's not in the picture anymore. I don't know. Like,
boy, y'all are going. Anyways, Spider-Man.
Who's MJ's new guy in the comics?
Paul is his name.
Paul. Good old Paul. Love Paul.
Paul Odin.
Paul Odin.
Paula? Is he a 7-year-old woman? Good old Paula.
Got Peter in the corner watching.
Peter Parker with the Sneeko effect.
Nice.
Jacob Prime.
Sneeko Parker.
Prime. Was that wait, I'm sorry. Damn, we're Pewter got in there.
He actually fell through these portals that he was making. He actually fell. Like,
come back, Pewter, come back.
First off, y'all can't be talking about my man like that. He gonna come for you 1,000-fold. I ain't playing screaming.
Doom, I appreciate you very much, but I can't be a part of this show anymore. I must leave. I'll see you later.
I love you.
Did Huda Wong just step in here real quick? Did Backley Chateau just This
I
man
don't-
said, I'm screaming.
I don't even know you're
Oh.
supposed to be because Zendaya definitely don't talk like that.
Bruh, I'm done right now.
She from Zendaya from the suburbs. She don't talk.
She really is. She really is. Pewter Odin, you had one more game that really interested you. What is
Assassin's
it?
Creed, baby.
Oh, you know what? I forgot that was even.
I
there.
literally forgot.
I literally forgot as well. I was like, why
And
is he
you
doing
do it
that?
like
Is he
I'm
alright?
like, dog. Every time you do this, I'm like, peace
I
up.
thought he was.
I
I thought he was doing Alan Wake too. I was like, okay.
Oh, well, somebody said Alan. No, nobody actually said Alan Wake.
I personally thought he was
Damn.
hyping Avengers, to be honest.
Avengers 2
Avengers 2, baby.
by All Father Media.
Bro, that game looks so damn good.
If
Fuck all
Allfather
father for that,
designed
because that shit look
Marvel
good.
I'll be all for it. I'll be all for it.
Alan Wake 2 getting your money, J. Cone Prime?
Nope.
Johnny Rock.
Please say no, Johnny.
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you.
King Greek, Alan Wake 2.
No.
Pewter Odin, Alan Wake 2.
Hell no.
Starter Man.
Alan Woke, more like, not for me. No, I'm joking. no, I'm not. It's not.
Agent, free 99, pre-order or GameStop for the low.
In theory, I should be interested in Alan Wake because Control was an amazing game, and they're all part of the same interconnected universe, and even have like Easter eggs in Control referencing Alan Wake and stuff like that. But I
Isn't he
never
just straight up in one of the DLCs.
I wanted to. I feel like I need to play the first game, and if I enjoy that, maybe I'll get into Alan Wake 2, but it's just not something that I think I have time for.
Damn. Okay.
It's so much controversy around that game already. It's digital only, fam. I can't do it.
Oh, I mean, I think I'm about to start going digital only. To be honest with you, it saves so much space on your PlayStation for some reason. Like I don't know why, but it does.
I mean, I'll even though I have a PS5 with the disc drive, I always buy digital anyway. So that's the
I think I'm starting to go all digital myself. Yeah, because you know what, my first digital purchase was actually Jedi Survivor. It downloaded so quick and was ready to go like so fast. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get into the meat of this, yo. Like why everybody is really here. Y'all already know Mr. Peter Parker, Mr. Miles Morales. Let's get it. Spider-Man 2. Let's just get straight to the damn point. Peter Parker is going insane from the symbiote. Do you like this adaptation? Because I've seen a lot of discourse on Twitter about, well, in the 80s comics, when the symbiote was first introduced, he was not affected by it. He thought it was just cloth, and yada yada yada. But see, for the movies, then they made him a little weird and stuff like that. Now
I've got such a rant about that, dude. Because
So do I.
Do you like the adaptation of the symbiote making Peter Parker go insane, as it does everyone else that it inhabits? Kilkum Prime.
The suit does not make him insane. The suit does not make him a completely different person. The suit makes him act on all the angry urges that he normally
Do you agree with the damn? Do you agree?
No! Stop yelling at me!
Do you agree with it?
No!
Oh,
Stop
okay.
yelling at me.
Okay.
I love you.
I know.
All right.
Johnny
no wonder
Rock-
he's your co-host. I've never seen you get stepped on like that, dude. Holy.
Johnny Rocker.
I hope they embrace it at a level that it just makes all those Captain Actually nerds' head explode. Like I want Peter drop kicking poodles off the Brooklyn Bridge. Like Jack Black
Let
and
him
Anchorman,
almost kill somebody.
like just do it. Just angry. Let's
Let
go.
him go off the deep end and let him almost kill someone.
Right? I asshole Peter all the way. I'm
Yeah.
in. I'm in.
Okay. King Greek, a storyline agreement. What you with, bro?
Because can you rephrase the question again? Just the whole question, because I forgot part of it.
Okay, Peter Parker is going insane from the symbiote. Do you like this adaptation? It's from the I think it was this 90s Spider-Man cartoon, which they kind of reimagined how the symbiote would act, and it's been pretty much canon since then. Originally, it wasn't the case. He just thought it was a cloth suit, which we all know it is. So, I just rephrase the question? Do you like the 80s adaptation or do you like the current adaptation?
I mean, to be fair, I like both. It is what it is. Because if we're being 100% honest, half of the people that are complaining about this are the same people that lose their mind every time they see the clip of Spider-Man yelling at Shocker, which is what they want to see in this game.
I need it.
I like both. I like both. It is what it is. We know how the symbiotes operate. It is what it is. I don't got time for 90% of Spider-Man's fan base to act like
Well said.
Oh, Peter Morales. Same question. Shit, I don't feel like saying that.
Hell to the yes. I want to see him go, Shocker, I'm coming for you, Shocker. In the voice of Sasuke, though. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't wait. I haven't even played the Spider-Man games. It's gonna make me want to play it. I want to do it.
Oh, bro, you gotta play the Spider-Man games, bro.
I done seen everybody and their mama play the Spider-Man games.
No, it's not the same. No, it's really not the same. I promise you. You like once you play it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Watching that game and playing that game is completely. You know what? Just watch the Excelsior now from last night with Evan Filarka. You'll understand what I'm talking about, my dude. Bully Maguire. I mean, we kind of joke about you being Bully Maguire, you know what I mean? So how are you feeling about the storyline being adapted the way that it is?
Oh, let me tell you. All right, let me get into this because I've got a lot. This is one of my favorite Spider-Man stories of all time. I love the fact that Peter is kind of greatest enemy in that story before Venom, obviously, is himself, literally himself, fighting those inner urges that he's obviously had. Anyway, because he's still a human, right? 100% pretty much, minus the powers, is that he obviously would think to himself, I wonder what it'd be like if I just acted like a bit of a dick. If I just didn't pull my punches just once, you know, because that's a lot of restraint on a man. You know, and the symbiote says, let go, baby. Right? You know, and that to me is like, it's a great metaphor for addiction, is the symbiote, because it makes him feel good. It makes him feel like he can literally accomplish anything he wants. It's the power that he's always wanted to be able to use, and the symbiote pushes him to do that. So he uses it more and more and more, and it affects the people around him, similar to addiction. Before you get to that sort of point where you're staring at yourself in the mirror, obviously, unfortunately, it doesn't always happen, right? This is a romanticized version of what I'm on about, but there's a moment you look in the mirror and you think, I got to kick the stuff, the symbiote in this case, right? And I think that when I got into Spider-Man, it was the animated series, right? So I was introduced to Shocker. I'll chase you to the ends of the earth and all that. And like when Peter kind of hesitates and the symbiote says, don't be a pussyo, and pushes Shocker off the top of the church, I'm like, damn. And then he realizes, like, oh my God, what have I done? And I love that sort of story. And Jay Kuhn did say it. I mean, obviously he was being a bit nitpicky, like, but he's right. But he is right though, because the as I mentioned obviously earlier on, is that like Peter does feel these emotions. It's very normal, you know, but it's the symbiote that kind of brings them out forward, right? So the reason that we saw like in the gameplay trailer, Peter be like, I can't talk now, we're literally chasing the lizard, get a move on, son. All right, is because obviously normally Peter would be like, all right, Miles, what's up? But in actuality, that is a right, no talk, move, go, let's do this. You know, he's not just going to be like, Miles, shut the fuck up, because like he's not inherently an arsehole, you know, like it's not just going to happen that way, but eventually it all builds up to that. And I love seeing that, especially the people around him notice the changes and stuff like that. So I think that like, and then obviously when Venom is made, he's literally facing his like addiction, so to speak, his demon in the face and going toe to toe. I just love it, man. It is so good. It's so good. Like, yeah, but the answer to your question, yes, I am happy they're doing it.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Well done, though, right?
Like,
but yeah, the reason why I'm so nitpicky about the whole thing is because everybody wants to get this preconceived notion about Peter in the black suit. And the first time he had the suit, Venom never happened. Like he got it from the Beyonder planet
Wasn't
during the
planned at all
original
either.
secret. Yeah.
Yeah.
His suit got destroyed, and he got this black goo thing that he was not aware was alive from the Beyonder planet during the original Secret Wars. And he came back, and the only thing he knew about it was it's from another world, I think, and it just comes off of me, I think, and it comes back onto me. And you didn't realize until later into the book, he had been moving around as Spider-Man throughout the night. The suit was moving, but inside the suit, he was dead asleep. And he takes it to the Fantastic Four, and they're the ones that are like, yo, that thing's alive. And he was like, get it off me right now. And the suit wouldn't let him go. And that's where the sonic gun came from. That's where the bombastic Bagman came from, was he needed something to leave For Freedom's tower. And Johnny Storm's an asshole. The time, and this is where the 90s cartoon came into play, that whole thing with the bell tower and all that happened the second time he got the suit. And that's when Venom was born. The first time he had it, like, Venom was not even a thing.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Sadat the game. If you could even remember the question, because I don't.
I do.
Okay, good. Would you like to answer it?
This entire discourse is completely bullshit. No one actually cares. Literally, no one prefers the original storyline over what's been going on since the 90s.
Right.
It's objectively a more interesting storyline. It makes more sense given the nature of the symbiote. It's much better character writing for Peter, and there's always this gang of window lickers who look for excuses to hate on Insomniac every time they're dropping a new Spider-Man game. Literally, no one actually cares. These same weirdos who are complaining about the symbiote storyline are the same ones that have been deep-throating Tobey Maguire for the last 10 years over Spider-Man 3, as if that's not one of the worst Spider-Man movies ever made. And there's the same people that are going to be damn sure begging for the Spider-Man 3 symbiote suit to be added to the Spider-Man 2 game. So I don't want to hear. I don't hear nothing about it. This is the correct decision by Insomniac. Everyone's used to it because that's what it's always been. So people pretending all of a sudden it's a problem now that Insomniac is doing it are lying. They're just hating on it for clout. None of it is generous. I guarantee you none of them even actually read the original fucking comic.
Bro, that's what I was about to say, to be honest with you.
They looked at the wiki and were like, it was like this
they didn't even look at the wiki. They skimmed it at best.
Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I never even knew that 80s storyline didn't involve Peter going insane. I mean, I knew probably from wiki or something like that, or maybe glancing that, okay, he got the super black suit or whatever from outer space during Secret Wars. Like, I don't remember anything about that because it wasn't important.
Because no one cares. It's clearly better. That's why everyone remembers the 90s and quotes the 90s cartoon, and no one ever brings up the original because it's not as good.
I genuinely believe that if it was planned, like they actually planned out Venom and stuff, that would have been the story they would have gone with. The only reason that we've got symbiote as aggression and all that stuff and Venom was because the black suit got insanely popular, and they were like, we got to do more with this, got to sell more books. You know what I'm saying?
We can't keep Spider-Man in the black suit, but we need to keep the black suit around.
But we need
somehow.
to keep the black, exactly. So they were like, right,
Venom,
get it back on him, do that stuff. And that was obviously when 90s happened and all that stuff. So I mean, if they had planned it from the get-go, and because I mean, a team of writers got this thing that covers your favorite superhero up, the goody two shoes guy, and makes him a little bit angrier. There's so much to do with that.
We got an actually incoming.
Yeah, hang on. All right,
you can go.
Todd McFarlane is the one that created Venom. Mm-hmm. That book line happened in the 80s. Like,
oh my God.
I was like 2 when Venom first showed up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, anybody bitching to piggyback off Sadat, anybody bitching about this at all, I promise you weren't even old enough to read the book.
Yo,
I wasn't old enough to read the book.
Yo, Just wait until they put that symbiote suit on Miles, bro. Just wait. Symbiotic Miles.
Speaking of Miles Morales versus symbiote Peter. Everybody's got their own theories. I personally think Miles is going to beat the symbiote off of Peter Parker, but I could be wrong. What do you think about this theory? Do you think that Miles Morales will definitely take on Peter Parker as the symbiote? J. Cone Prime.
As much as I want to say yes, no, because there's no confirmation that the symbiote has any weakness whatsoever to bioelectricity.
I'm
Fire
not saying,
and sonics.
No. Do you think they will fight each other is the question.
Oh, yeah, they'll fight. I don't think Miles is going to win.
Ooh.
He'll put up a good fight.
This is the first.
He'll put up a good fight, but
this is going to be the first time that I can actually give J. Coon Prime an actually.
Go for it, please.
I'm feeling it as well.
Actually, there is.
Borrow these.
Put them on, bro. Yeah.
Actually, there is evidence that the symbiote has a weakness to bioelectricity in a Insomniac's version, because at the very end of the demo, they have the symbiote take control of the all red Spider-Man card and then get blown away by electricity to reveal the logo.
Okay. All right, I'll give him that. Yeah.
So you think that Venom is gonna try and take over Miles, and then he's gonna be like, "No,
wait, no! Ask that question. Don't ask that question. It's the show. Keep the show.
Here you go, Jacob.
Thank you.
Johnny Rocker, Miles Morales versus symbiote Peter Parker. Will this happen?
I think that's probably going to be like if everything we saw was still Act 1. I feel like that fight will be the pinnacle of Act 1, or it'll be like the Act 2 thing, and then we go on beyond it, is what I think will happen.
King Greek, Miles Morales versus symbiote Peter. Will this happen?
I do believe it will happen. And if Miles does win, I do believe it will be plot.
Ooh.
Race trader.
Damn.
Holy.
So you think if Peter was not in a symbiotic state, that he was just tech Peter Parker as he is in the first game, you think he could take Miles Morales?
You're talking about bioelectricity compared to how many years of experience? Not to mention, he's also physically stronger than Miles, which you was also beat over the head with in Miles's game, as a fact, because Miles couldn't do some of the stuff he could.
Well, to be fair, Miles gave Rhino that Falcon punch, something Peter couldn't do. So,
I was about to say, wait, didn't in Miles Morales game Peter Parker get knocked out by the same dude that
he's
Miles
fought for 8
Morales
years, by the way.
Was that plot too?
I mean, he did because of the bioelectricity. That's what I mean. If he wins, it's gonna be because of that.
So if it wins, it's going to be because of the power set they established in his first.
Is greater than powers. Anyway, Mr. Peter Morales, Miles Morales versus symbiote Peter. You think that's gonna happen, bro?
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen.
Who? You know what? I'm just asking you. Who coming out on top?
Who's coming out on top? I want to say Miles.
Okay. So that ain't gonna call you a race trader. Stardust, bro.
Peter Morales know what it is. You know, he ain't Uncle Greek right now.
Don't do my dude. Nah, don't.
Oh no.
Stardust. Who you got? Miles Morales.
Somebody clip this so I have a new thumbnail.
Don't do my
Greek betrayal? Question mark.
Oh, come on, bro.
In the thumbnail.
He's spitting facts though. Like, I mean, as much as I like Miles Morales, I'm not sure if he could literally take a techno Peter Parker, because Peter Parker has electric stuff too. You know what I'm saying? He's got more gadgets than Miles has powers. Miles has what, 2 powers: the invisibility and the venom shock or whatnot, right?
Zappy
Peter
pops, as Ryan
yeah.
calls it.
If he
Peter's
can
got
figure out
the
a way to
damn
beat
legs
Electro,
that is super strong. He's got those electrical web things. He's got the one web that turns into a big old fist and punches. You know what I'm saying? Like Miles can't really do all of that.
if he
And
could
just
figure
comes
out a
down to
way to beat
powers versus
Electro, he could
experience.
figure out a way to beat Miles.
I feel it.
So
I
what you're
feel
saying
it.
is he'll Batman Miles.
Oh,
Prep
he
time.
said prep time.
I've got 2 outcomes for this, right? If I can
Go
go
ahead.
through them. So I think they'll either fight twice where Miles won't be putting his all in because obviously Peter's his mentor, right? His a close friend and stuff. So like he doesn't really want to hurt Peter. He just kind of wants to say like, brother, Symbiote's doing a bit of a madness. While Peter's obviously not very happy about that. So he'll like go on the attack. And then they'll have a second fight where Miles will realize, right, I'm gonna have to do everything here, right? Because Peter, we saw this in the gameplay trailer, made the same exact type of mistake that Miles did in his game. And I'll refer to that. So with the drone that was already shooting out poison clouds, that was already shooting out little rockets, Symbiote Spider-Man jumped perfectly open to a drone that clearly has rockets attached to it, which Miles is like, guys, brother, like there's defenses. Can you not? which is because he's so clouded with anger, which is something that Miles, thanks to Peter's teachings, will exploit to get the W. All right. And or second thing, Symbiote Spider-Man, it'll be very close. Like they're not going to make any of them look weak. I think they're going to make them look really matched up. I think Miles, regardless, is going to come out of this looking great. But I think Peter's going to eventually gain the upper hand, and that will be his "what have I done" moment, right? Because he's punching away at this young little lad, this young kid that he's taught up to be basically like him, and he's
So you're trying to say that he's going to put a slave beating on
moment.
our boy Miles? You are a racist, Star, bro.
I just gave him I gave Miles the big win at the first scenario. No, so
You basically just described Invincible.
no, but that would be
Nah, I
perfect,
get it.
though,
That's
in my
actually
opinion. It's like,
that makes
Another
sense,
sidekick.
Bro. Because what else could, besides Miles literally beating the symbiote off of him, what else could really make Peter snap out of it like that? And that's seeing his protege getting beat up by his own hands.
That MJ story mission.
one of the
Mary Jane.
one of the cooler things that I would like to see the symbiote play out, because we haven't really seen this story while Miles is active. I would love if the symbiote tried to like make Peter almost jealous that Miles could replace him, play a little bit with insecurities that like the city doesn't need you anymore because Miles Morales is taking your spot, sort of thing. Play with the sort of insecurities that you somewhat Peter probably isn't really like fully having, but obviously the more the symbiote takes over, the more it can plant ideas in one's head. And I think that could be the sort of thing of like, this city doesn't need you, it needs me, all that sort of shit. And then he'll realize what he's done. Get in the bell tower, Eddie Brock's conveniently praying, sort him out, and then we go. That's what I think will happen.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually, dude. Miles versus symbiote Peter. What's your thoughts on that, Sadabra?
So I actually did put out a fan theory video about this very thing several months ago, where I basically thought the climax of the game would be a showdown between Miles and Peter after Peter tries to basically murder who I thought was going to be one of the final bosses, which is Green Goblin. I think after watching the trailer, I think basically we're going to get a definite showdown between Miles and Peter. I think that's very clearly setting it up. But I think it's probably going to be more lines of, and Yuri talked about how he did a lot of research on addiction to prepare for the role and the interpretation. And given that theme, I think that they're establishing, I think that this is going to be more of an intervention than just a cinematic battle. So I think you're going to have. So I think Peter is still definitely going to cross a line, and maybe even go way too far or Hawk out, and you're going to have Miles. You're going to have Genki with his drone tech. You're going to have Prowler, who'll be out of prison on good behavior, and you're going to have MJ all there trying to confront Peter and bring him down.
Don't forget Yuri.
I think Yuri is going to be a villain during this story, but I think what's going to happen is Miles is going to use his blue bioelectricity, which is one of his new powers, and he's going to use that to try to get the suit off Peter, throw him off guard. He'll have support from Genki and Prowler, and MJ meanwhile will be there to try to talk Peter down. And I think his snap out of the moment will be him hurting or possibly even killing MJ by accident.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that was actually the next question, and I'm glad that you said what you just said at the end just now, Sadat the Gamer. In every one of the Insomniac Spider-Man games, we lose a beloved character. In number one, it was
Beloved.
Aunt May, you know what I mean? In Miles Morales, it was two people actually. We lost his dad, and then we lost his best friend, who ended up being the what was the girl's the Tinkerer. You know what I mean? So, and that was his best friend. So that's two people in his game, plus the one in Peter's game. What beloved character do you think we will lose in Spider-Man 2? Because this is gonna happen. I mean, the Spider-Man Insomniac don't play. J. Cone Prime.
Mary Jane.
He said it's so sad too. He's preparing himself.
Because I don't want to say it, but I think they did it with May. Anyone's up for grabs.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Anyone is up for grabs. Johnny Rocker.
If my prediction earlier is not a Act 1 and 2 thing, and Peter is the main arc, right? And that's the Act 3 climax, I think we might lose Peter Parker.
That was my guess, to be honest with you. I was thinking the same thing, because you got to look at it like this. Even though this is Insomniac's own story, the only place right now where Peter Parker and Miles Morales exist at the same time is in that universe right there, that Insomniac universe, because they've already took him back out of the 616 and put him back in the 1610 already. So see what I'm saying? Like,
did they?
They can only be one. There can only be one, bro. King Greek.
Harry dies, and that sets the stage for Peter versus Norman in Spider-Man 3. Because Norman is already indirectly responsible for May's death.
Ooh, Greek, where's your video for this, sir? Peter Morales. Who we losing, bro?
I was gonna say J. Jonah Jameson, because he always didn't like Spider-Man in the first place. So why not give him some fuel and let him kill the guy who's always trying to perpetrate?
Oh, you saying Peter gonna kill J. Jonah?
Yeah.
Oh snap! Okay. Oh wow! I was not wow.
He'll become a true menace and kill the guy who's been trying to give him.
He won't be able to bounce back from. We gotta have him bounce back, bro. Like that. Ain't
He's dying.
Yeah, this is.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's kind of the thing with like the symbiote Spider-Man thing, and like saying I might kill this person. So okay, shout out to him. Absolutely no disrespect at all. It was a great guest on your show the other day. But Evan posted, because in the Ultimate Comics, Venom kills Rio.
No, it wasn't him that kills it. It was because he wasn't directly the killer, if that makes any sense. He was in the vicinities. But go ahead.
But basically, Evan said on Twitter, like, if Peter does become Venom, which is a bit of a theory, you know, what if they redo that? And I think, like, and I posted that, I said that, yeah, but there's no coming back from that. Like, he's not a hero anymore. Like, you can't go back and be red and blue Spider-Man, like, yeah, like, it doesn't work like that. You've crossed a line, and it's very difficult, which they need to push boundaries 100%. But if you want Peter to go back, you can't have him reach a point where he can't go back. You know, something like he murders Jay Jonah in cold blood because he called him a dick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's limits, which it's a shame, but it's you know, it depends how they do it. But I think that Harry does die. I agree with Greg. I think Harry dies. I think we need a reason for Norman to snap and say, right, let me just give me everything I've got in this stupid lab to become whatever so I can take out Spider-Man, because he will blame Spider-Men, right? He, you know, like those are Spider-Man's villains in first games, you know, there'll be, I mean, Peter has taken the thing away from Harry that's keeping him alive.
Yo, we're really about to witness one of the greatest storylines ever, aren't we?
Norman has, if that is how they do it, right? So for Peter, obviously, inadvertently stealing the thing that's keeping his son alive, right? It's going to end up being this thing of, you literally killed my child. That's it, bruv. It's game over. Let's get the stuff, you know, and it's going to be this fight between two people who, before Goblin even happens, already hate each other so much. And I think that in Spider-Man 3, Goblin does kill Peter Parker. That's when I think he dies.
Ooh, okay. Siddhartha
they
Gamer.
both die at the same time. Sorry.
Siddhartha Gamer. You started this question. Well, not really, but you kind of made the question come to light. Who are we losing in Spider-Man 2?
I think we're definitely losing multiple people, but in order of most likely to least likely, it's definitely, to me, Harry, then MJ, then Miles's mom, then Peter himself.
Wow.
That I got goosebumps, yo. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy when you think about it, because again, I mean, it's just Insomniac is not playing. I mean, you literally, they took Aunt May from us game 1. They took Mr. Morales and the Tinkerer in game 2. You know what I mean? It's somebody's going.
Harry, I think Harry's. I think that's a for sure. That's a guarantee. I think Harry's a goner for sure.
Dang, he didn't even really show up in Spider-Man 1 when he's just
which is perfect, because he's not a beloved character, because he's technically he's never actually, he's a important character to Peter and the story, but he's not really an important character to most people, because we only really saw a picture of him. We don't really interact with Harry at all.
Yeah, we heard his voice if you did the lab side missions, and that's about it. And
it kind of is the perfect character as well, because like obviously Spider-Man mythos, Harry Osborn's like a really big name, so a lot of people that know anything about Spider-Man are going to know who he is, but it's not going to be the point where like getting rid of Harry is going to cause a big wedge out of Spider-Man's sort of story in the games and stuff.
That would be cheap to do that to Harry if we never really get to interact with him, because Harry is a big part of the Spider-Man mythos. You know what I mean? Like, and to have this wonderful game that we've been playing in his universe that Insomniac is building, for them to not give us Harry at all, I think that would be pretty.
Oh, they are. This will be. You know how in pretty much a lot of stories, you know a character is about to die. Because suddenly they get
an extra 30 minutes of screen time.
They get their big flashbacks. They get their big moments. You know, they got all this stuff building up to it. Like I was watching All American, and a very significant character dies in the last season. But the whole episode is like, oh yeah, he's like, oh, he's doing these big things. He's helping all these people. You know, he made a big decision. And I was like, oh yeah, he's dead.
He's gonna die for sure.
He's out of there.
What about old girl that Miles was obsessed with? The deaf chick.
The graffiti artist?
Hey, man, y'all better
if she's in this game, I'll be surprised.
No, y'all don't even play with her like that. Don't even play with her like that.
It's actually so upsetting you said that, because I've been playing Miles all day, and like I just did the side mission where she's doing that parade and you go like see Kingpin and the computer screen and stuff, and now I'm just like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave this thinking about that. I'm gonna be like, let me wrong, you know.
All right, sorry to interrupt everybody, but everybody say goodnight to Link. It's time for him to go to bed.
I'm dead.
The camera's over that way.
Link.
There you go. Look at the camera. There you, yeah.
What
attaboy.
other villains may show up in Spider-Man 2 aside from Venom, Lizard, and Kraven?
Goblin.
Johnny Rocker,
Answer.
I think Goblin's the obvious answer.
King Greek,
Wraith.
Peter Morales.
Taskmaster.
He's not wrong. Like
He's not wrong.
that's very high
Why
possibility.
did you give me
Screwball.
Avengers flashbacks? Even though I know Taskmaster was in Spider-Man 1, I just had Avengers
Taskmaster in
flashbacks.
Spider-Man is
bro.
actually cool.
Yeah.
Taskmaster.
don't play, bro.
No, he's pretty assholeish in Spider-Man.
He's
But
gonna get chased down by Kraven.
Stardust. Who else besides Venom, Kraven, and the Lizard?
I want a superior Spider-Man. A reference to that with Screwball, where he like batters her to the point of like close to death, and she just looks up and goes like, "Looks like no one can take a joke," and that's it right there. You know?
Oh my god.
Sadat the gamer.
Well, in the demo, we already got our look at some of the villains running around the city. They showed Wraith, they showed Taskmaster, they showed Shocker. So hope there.
Was that Black Cat on there?
Black
Yeah.
the full list was Black Cat, Prowler, Lizard, Wraith, Taskmaster, both Spider-Men, Kingpin, and Shocker. So beyond that, I think we're going to see potentially Mysterio pop up, because there's a connection between Wraith and Mysterio in the comics. So I think that connection could resurface there. I believe that we could potentially see another one of his notable villains from, because you notice they've been picking up some villains from the backpack. Like Lizard was a Easter egg, and then they bring him in. You know, Wraith had the DLC, so we kind of knew that was coming. But also from those mementos, you had Mysterio, you had Sandman. So I think they're going to bring potentially those two in as well.
I'm thinking a couple of more abstract villains too, with animal themes or bug themes. There
was that leak that said Paste Pot Pete was going to be thrown in there.
Really? I didn't see that. I was thinking more like
Sin Eater
Beetle,
as well.
somebody like Beetle, or what's the other guy's name?
Puma.
So
Puma's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking more of the animal theme ones. You know what I mean? Or bug themed, or you know.
There's also if you look at the comic, there was Hood. You fought the Hood, but he became a good guy by the end of it. But they also introduced the Foreigner for the first time, and that intrigued me because the Foreigner was basically the one that was supplying the Lifeline tablet that the Hood was trying to acquire to save his mom. But the Foreigner, if you remember him from the comics, he used to be married to Silver Saber, and he dated Black Cat before. So I can definitely see him somehow being involved as a side villain, because he is very well connected. He's pretty powerful, mainly in terms of his influences and everything, but he also has a pretty cool power. He can put people in a 10-second hypnotic state that he uses to simulate super speed.
All right, final question of
Another person that could bring in is the Rose, if you wanted to kind of do a Kingpin mob side of things, where like Kingpin's in jail. Now his son tries to come in and take over everything under the guise of the Rose.
I would be quite disappointed and say that there's probably going to be like one extra villain in the selection that we saw on the map. And I'm not even in like a shit game way. I mean that as like, I think they're just going to really flesh out what we already kind of expect. And that's like the side missions are going to be more kind of like similar to the first two games, where it's like, save my cat from the tree. Oh no, my pigeons are let loose
I
again.
think they're going all the way out this time around, bro. I think they're going all the way out, bro. To be
I think there will be like extra bits and villains references and stuff like that, but I don't think we'll have like 10 side missions where it's going to be like a brand new villain every time. You know, like Big Wheel the Wall.
All right, final question in the Spider-Man 2 discussion. Where does the symbiote come from? We've seen multiple versions of Spider-Man getting symbiote. Some come from space, some are made in Oscorp, some come from under people's beds, and I never really understood that iteration where it just came from somebody's bed. It was weird. But anyways, where does Peter get the symbiote from? Is it an Oscorp thing where he gets it from, going to visit Harry? Does it fall from space? Where does Peter get the symbiote from? J. Coon Prime.
I think getting it from Harry is going to be a good one. I think this time around, like, it may originated from space, but just years of Oscorp tampering, because we already saw that he was trying to recreate what Spider-Man is. So maybe all the tinkering and everything in Oscorp Labs gives the symbiote an idea of like, okay, this is what it's trying to make me have, and it's going to be hanging out on Harry in some fashion or another. And Harry is like, say, like Peter touches Harry on like the shoulder, and the symbiote's just going to go, hey, he's got what we're looking for. And something's going to happen, and it just like a piece of it is just going to like wind up on his hand or some shit like that. And then he's going to wake up and have the suit.
Johnny Rocker.
Yeah.
Johnny Rocker. Where does Peter
mind.
Parker get the symbiote from, sir?
Yeah, I'm kind of with J. Coon. I think it's going to be like an amalgamation of those three things. It came from space, like Oscorp got it, and it's being used to help Harry. So,
King Greek.
I believe that this time around the symbiote is specifically going to be man-made because the whole interaction with Osborn and Connors in the lab talking about Harry with it gives me strong vibes of the Ultimate Spider-Man storyline where Eddie's dad and Peter's dad were working on their version of the symbiote because they wanted it to cure cancer, and the only reason they could use it was because their DNA was bonded to the suit, and that's also how Carnage is born in that storyline. Carnage is born from Spider-Man's blood and the mixture of the symbiote, and that could be why the suit is working for Peter next to Harry as well. The reason why it's working better for Peter is because, as Jay Coon said, they were trying to make another Spider-Man. They were trying to use Osborn was trying to use whatever they did with him to fix Harry. But it wasn't working because it wasn't matching well without the original donor.
Pewter Roden, where does Peter Parker get the dang on symbiote?
Definitely going to say Oscorp. Definitely going to say Oscorp. It's synthetic. It's not even a real Venom. We're not even going to see that until like probably Spider-Man 3 or something like that. And that's my answer.
Slice Stardust, where does Peter Parker get the symbiote?
They teased where the symbiote came from all the way back in Miles Morales. Like the exhibit, the Oscorp exhibit with all the spaceships and all the fancy space stuff that they've got for Oscorp are basically an indicator that they have been to space, that they have gone to, and obviously either latch on or they found it, right? They found it, caught it like Starro style, right? And basically, they wanted to test on it because we know that Emily, which Norman's and Harry's mum, Harry's mum and stuff, basically had the same illness that Harry has, right? It was kind of like a bring down thing. So they were probably looking for a cure for her using the symbiote, messed around with it, bit too late, got more aggressive with the testing of the symbiote, right? And then once they realized, wait, this thing can kind of fix itself. So like if you cut it, it'll come back and stuff like that. Maybe it'll be able to cure people. Sort of like a lesser extreme version of what the anti-venom suit can do anyway. And then obviously give that to Harry and see what happens. But because the symbiote is still sentient, it still wants more. It doesn't want to be latched onto, I say this in the nicest way, Harry, but you are literally dying with no superpowers. This magnificent hunk of a man, Peter Parker, walks in with spider powers, I think it's going to latch onto him instead of the guy who, unfortunately, doesn't have a lot of time left, right? So that's why it goes over
Healthy
to
host.
Peter. And I think the reason, and I genuinely believe, so there's two ways I think that Peter does find out about Harry, by the way. It's either just through seeing him in his situation, or Harry magically is okay again. You know, he's just out and about, he's fine. He doesn't tell Peter what's going on. And when the symbiote latches onto him, remember, it keeps memories of its former host, right? Everything that it sort of connects to. So maybe it sort of tells Peter, like, your friend's dying, you know, and that kind of aggravates him a little more, which is what we see in the gameplay trailer.
Okay. My dude, Siddhartha Gamer. Shit, what was the question, y'all? Oh, where does the symbiote come from?
Well, of course, once again, Stardust culturally appropriate is my answer. Partially, he is correct about the Miles Morales Easter egg about where Osborn came from. But in terms of how he gets the suit, I think, and there's definitely some indications in the demo about how this all went down. I think Peter finds out about Harry being basically kept in a secret Oscorp lab through Connors, and goes and tries to investigate to try to help Harry. I think at some point Connors tries to we got to kind of get Connors this storyline where he tries to create a serum, and originally Connors is trying to create a serum to help himself, and you've seen in other mediums, but in this case, I think once they realize the symbiote isn't working on Harry, they're just kind of just maintaining him, but it's clearly not, it hasn't bonded with him, it's not really helping. So Connors because of pressure from Norman, maybe tries to get a little more dramatic, a little more desperate, and it ends up with him turning into the Lizard, which obviously is inconvenient for Peter because Connors is the one that he thinks is ultimately going to be able to figure this out with if he's able to protect his serum. So I think that's why we have this chase come about where Peter is trying to track down Connors, and I think over the course of that investigation, Peter is going to probably potentially even break into the lab and is going to get the symbiote on him by accident, or maybe even use it intentionally when Connors lizards out for the first time.
So, quick question to everybody on the panel, just a yes or no question before we get out of here. The scene from the trailer where Peter first busts open through the from the house or whatever, where he comes on, they first show him Connor's house, and they show his red and blue suit for a half a second, and then it's engulfed inside of the symbiote. Do you think that's the first time he has put on the symbiote suit, Jacob Prime?
No.
Johnny Rocker?
No, I don't think so.
King Greek?
Not at all.
Peter Morales?
Not at all.
Slice Stardust?
Nah.
Siddhartha Gamer?
Nope, but it is Miles' first time seeing it, so he couldn't have had it for that long.
That's why I'm wondering if that might actually be the first time he puts it on. He just met with Kurt Connors, or left Kurt Connors' house, where half the panel just said that's where the suit's at. You know what I'm saying? So you don't see the red and blue suit any other time in that whole trailer. It's just that half a second right when he busts through the door. He doesn't have it on when he busts through the door. But as soon as the door opens or explodes or whatever, you see it engulf him, and that's the end of the red, white, and blue suit. That's why I'm like, maybe that's the first time.
But the combat that we're seeing is not saying first time putting on that suit. That's
why isn't it? Why isn't it?
It's possible. He seems very familiar with the suit, like not just in his combat, but the way he's talking. Miles is the only one that seems to be in the dark about it. So I get the vibe that he hasn't had it for that long, but he's definitely had it, because I think he went to Connors' house to try to find Connors or something related to Connors' research, rather than rather than he just went there and just so happened to find the suit for the first time and put it on. But I think this was definitely a part of the game where he hasn't had it for that long. I think he had the suit before he got to Conjur's house, but was investigating, walking around, and then when he heard Craven's people, he got ready for battle.
Oh, but the cutscene goes back like 6 months later after we first see Craven.
See
So-
that I feel like but see, here's my thing. I wouldn't put too much stock into that because I genuinely feel like that cutscene was put there and it was out of place on purpose. Because if you pay attention to the dialogue, that's not their first time running into Craven. They've already dealt with Craven beforehand in the story, and I don't think that Carnage is going to be Lizard right away. The way that I'm initially
Flashback
thinking,
scene.
like the reason why everything we saw takes place in the second act is because, like I said, he hasn't had the suit for that long. He would probably get the suit towards the end of the first act once Harry kind of just splashes out and he ends up getting the suit. Craven's pretty much the main big bad for the first half. Then you have him struggling with the suit and still dealing with Craven and everybody else during the second act, and Venom ends up becoming the third act. Because what a lot of people forget that they also did with the first game, we all thought Mr. Negative was going to be the big bad of the game, only for Ock to just literally swoop in and take over the back half of the game as the main villain. And Mr. Negative was essentially the fake out.
That's important to keep in mind because Insomniac very repeatedly during the promotion of that first game deliberately manipulated those trailers and demos to make us think one thing and the other. Like they fabricated an entire scene that Mr. Negative doesn't actually appear in. They also added some sound effects during the Sinister 5 reveal to make people think that the Green Goblin was the sixth member. So they're not above manipulating people with the trailers and demos they present to throw us off.
Not them MCU trailering us right now.
I mean, you said it yourself. They showed you this as like it's the big bad.
Yeah.
It came through with the whole. We talked about that last night too.
Wow.
They are wild with it. That's the whole reason why I asked the question: what other villains is gonna show up? Because it's not just what we've got. They are definitely not gonna give us just that. So,
I mean the one obvious one I think we didn't bring up is Morbius, because they established in Miles Morales in the PS4 one of the scientists that was integral to curing Devil's Breath canonically in the comics becomes Morbius.
Oh my God, Morbius and Spider-Man. So we should be getting played too then.
And one of the only other questions left again regarding in terms of the fake out, a lot of people definitely still think Kraven is going to be the main villain. That's not the case. However, it is all going to come down to Venom because he's gonna take over towards the end of the second act and with a third. The real question is who exactly is going to be behind Venom. A lot of people are suggesting Peter. I see a lot of people suggesting Eddie of all people, even though I don't think we've had any mention of him so far.
We have actually. Eddie's been in both Miles Morales and PS4. Peter knows him. He worked at the Bugle, and when Peter left the Bugle, he was one of the signatures on their farewell card. There's also a picture in the newspaper in Miles Morales that has Eddie Brock in the credits. So he has been established. Flash Thompson, for that matter, is also established in the Insomniac universe. But I think it's much more likely we get Eddie.
And based off that, you could assume that the suit could just be acting on its own because the whole thing is with him. Why Eddie gets the suit is because he hates Peter, and the symbiote is also mad at him. That's why they end up bonding so well together. I don't think you would sign the farewell card of somebody that you hate and potentially made you lose your job. So
but
It
that
could have been
but-
at a
but
point
they
in
were-
time where he wasn't mad at him yet.
They can do,
Yeah.
they can do that. They can do that later because remember, they're just putting the breadcrumbs there. Like Eddie Brock is established, he works at the Bugle. Things could change because remember, in the tie-in comic, Mary Jane is back in the picture, and she's working full time at the Bugle, and Jameson now owns it, so she's going to be there with Eddie, and there's already tension between MJ and Peter because she refused to move in with them because she wants to stay close to the city because of her job at the Bugle. So there can definitely be something between Mary Jane
What a storyline.
and Brock and Eddie Brock. Maybe Peter, gets a little jelly. Maybe something happens there. You never. They could establish that though.
Riding right off the coattails of what he just said, that is a very, very sound theory. He gets jealous. He starts thinking shit is going on between Eddie and MJ, and he sabotages Eddie and costs him his job at the Bugle.
Or because he's got the symbiote and he's not in his right mind. He lets that jealousy get the better of him and beats the shit out of Eddie, and that makes Eddie hate Spider-Man.
Yep.
Mm.
So yeah.
Okay. Quick question. This will be the last one for real. Who is Venom? Jacob Prime.
I think it's going to be multiple people.
Who is Venom? Johnny Walker.
We are Venom.
Oh, how sad that in my head. I thought that's going to be real. That's going to pop the boys, that one. I've got that right in my head. Oh, that sucks.
I'm mad as shit. I didn't think of that first.
King Greek, who's Venom, bro?
Candyman.
No, you gotta say it 2 more times.
Don't you dare.
Don't you do it.
Peter Odin, who's Venom?
Didn't J. Jonah Jameson's son bring home the Venom from the cartoon?
Yeah, that's how it was in the cartoon.
It came back on the show though.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I'm gonna say Peter.
Starter Man.
Well, Symbiote's a bit of a whore, to be honest. It bounces between loads of different people, so just whoever it fancies in that moment, Whoever fancies eating the inside of, I don't know.
It could be Mary Jane.
She Venom, yep. I mean, some people like that kiss in Venom 1, so they might want to recreate that for the game, in PS5.
Let's go.
Final question, my dude Siddhartha Gamer. Who is Venom?
I'm gonna go for a bit of a hot take here, since everyone's kind of saying what everyone expects. Let's go with Norman, and instead of Venom, let's go with Red Goblin.
Oh,
You really think they're going to dig that deep?
I could definitely see a scenario where Norman bosses up with his own symbiote and those together some Oscorp tech and is like, all right, Spider, you killed Harry. we running the spade.
Like thumbing the nose.
I need some symbiote power though.
I mean, if anything,
That
it's
could
an
be
eye
what
for
the
an
first
eye.
one
You
do,
like,
okay, I'm mad because you killed my boy. Game 3, Carnage and Red Goblin.
Yep.
I mean, it's an eye for an eye. He took his son. He took his son.
I was going to ask that, without Carnage, where does the red come from? Did he add, red food coloring to a vial of symbiote he had? He's like, I just like red better.
It could be Black Goblin. It could be Black Air Force Goblin.
Durag Goblin.
he's wearing, the Raimi spiky helmet with a do-rag on the spiky back.
That's a conversation 70% of Spider-Man's fan base aren't ready to have yet.
He could also just be regular Venom. He could just be the thing.
Yeah, just big fat Venom on a glider.
Without the guy, he just literally straight up be Venom. He just gets the symbiote.
He just consumes the glider and he just
What
floats
if
around.
What if Norman does become Venom Venom, but gets so obsessed with having the power that Venom gave him, because obviously he was really vulnerable in Spider-Man 1. He's basically a bitch. And then this Venom symbiote gave him a taste of real power, and he's like, I want that. I want more of that. And that makes him become the Goblin.
Yep, that's something. The Goblin, he starts cooking up that Goblin formula.
Yeah. Oh, shit. It's got some Osborn DNA in it already, and it's on Harry as well, by the way. So it would like Norman if it was all right with Harry. Oh,
yo, this was a crazy.
It's what my son
combo.
would have wanted.
This was a crazy combo.
Injection.
I mean, we discussed who's gonna be the beloved character that's gonna get murked. We've talked about who was going to be Venom. We talked about Miles versus Symbiote Peter, who we thought was gonna come out on top. We talked about some shit tonight, yo. Like,
what about this? Post credit for the next Spider-Man game.
I think that would be Goblin related, to be honest.
Way too early to tell.
Gotta be
I mean, we
don't-
gotta figure out what the villains are.
Yeah,
for the
I don't
game
want to open that
It's gotta
can
be.
yet.
I feel like it's gotta be. Is most likely Goblin rated. There was that whole multiverse rumor thing going around where it'll be like Gwen will pop up or something, but I don't think Insomniac is going to go that
God,
direction.
no.
I think
They don't need Gwen.
I think they're.
really.
I think they're going to keep it pretty grounded and avoid the kind of multiverse stuff. So I think if he's not in this game, we could see a Morbius tease, and we could. I think depending on how it plays out, we can definitely get some Goblin, maybe even a Carnage tease.
I would love to see Carnage and Spider-Man.
I don't know.
I would
'Cause
love to see
we
a
came to
Carnage
me,
at a point in
it's-
time in gaming where it could
talk-
actually be done justice.
Talking about end credit scene before we even talk about DLC and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna
bruh.
be real. I'm not ready to open that can.
I can't because I don't know who. I need to see who's in this game before I can make any educated guesses, discussions, or anything about
I will.
DLC.
Well, if it's not,
As long as the
one of those-
DLC is better than the dog water of the City That Never Sleeps DLC, because that was genuinely awful. Like the amazing quality of the main game versus the DLC was insane.
it brought us Black Cat, so it's redeemed.
I mean,
Probably one of the best
I mean,
black cats we ever saw too.
I mean,
So,
I'll open it. We know. Well, Doc Ock was one of the people because on the list that Saddam mentioned earlier, Doc Ock was one of the people that you did see. It could be. I could maybe see him making a visit to see Ock potentially for help with Carnage about the symbiote or something like that. We're already this far along in Ock's storyline where he's completely paralyzed from the neck down. If you wanted to start fresh and move on from Peter, so to say, you could easily set up a Superior Spider-Man storyline.
Where Doc Ock became Spider-Man?
You said you set up the third game with him getting out of the raft, rebuilding the six, and basically just planning to take Peter because he took his body away from him. Because he's technically that's how he kind of views it as of right now. Peter's the one that took his body away from him.
But if Peter's supposed to die in this one, then how would they do that? That would be so wild.
That's why you would think Peter was dead.
Yeah.
That's why you would think Peter was
You would
dead.
get Superior Spider-Man.
I don't know if I
Peter
like the
dies
idea
in
though,
Ock's body.
Oh, I don't know if I like the idea though of like evil Spider-Man 2 games in a row. Do you know what I mean? Like symbiote, Peter, are you good? And then Peter, are you good again? Like in the second game. You see what I'm saying? Like Peter, what happened this time?
That
like
screams to die his cast every time he gets into a fight.
Exactly. It's like, oh fuck, it's Russian roulette again. He's throwing haymakers. Someone's got to ask him if he's good again. Is he on the stuff? Is he got some of that black goo left over?
DLC wise, I think it's more likely we get a continuation of City Never Sleeps in the form of Wraith, but it would be nice. It'd be nice if they caved and just gave us playable Venom DLC.
That'd be nice.
I think they'll do a Miles game with not literally Miles, but like a shorter game where he plays Venom. I think that.
I just think you guys are all missing the obvious, and it's got to be a claw raid, right? Like that's the DLC. Like, it's coming.
Right
War for Wakanda.
I can't, yo. You're
Welcome to the weekly wrap up. I am your host, Jacob Prime.
I can't believe Johnny, bro. I cannot believe you,
I mean,
Johnny.
you know.
Except this claw raid is just
this one,
like
this one
a
would
random
work,
guy
right?
just like punching the walls of the Wakandan embassy in New York, just like that. That is the entire War for Wakanda.
As long as the third DLC,
bioelectricity.
as long as the third DLC is a version of Cloning Labs that isn't underwhelming, I think it'll be okay.
I don't know.
All righty then. With all that said, thank you guys for coming through. This was an awesome time. I've had super fun. Sadat the Gamer, Stardust, Cuda Morales, King Greek, Johnny Rocker, my co-host, Mr. Jake Conimus Prime. Thank you guys for coming through, man. Chat, y'all been awesome tonight. From Nava, Flow, Harder Gamer, Arkham, QMR Rage, Twisted Heat, Spring Rose even stopped through. Christopher Rios Diaz might be related to Miles Morales. The homie Kata Huyuga came through tonight. Man, this has been awesome. So thank you guys for coming through. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here rocking with the best. I greatly appreciate that. So, with all of that said, Toby's the best. Laissez les bon temps rouler, which means
Andrew's the best.
Times roll. No, he's not.
Tom is the best.
He's not. Andrew's not the best.
Christopher
Andrew's not the
Barnes
best.
is the best.
Get out of
Ken
here.
Riley.
He's not the best. He's not the best. He's not the best. He's not the best. You neither. Get out of here. He's not the best. With all that said, laissez les bon temps rouler, which means let the good times roll. Peace out, people, and thank you for tuning in.
What's shaking, people? It's your boy Doomkiller HD. Sit back and relax. You are now rocking with the best. Let's go! It's the weekly wrap up where we give you the news. Break it down bite size so it's easier to consume. Discussing the hottest game and thought of what's coming soon. Is it real or is rumor? Homie, that's up to you. Fire or trash reaction. Live viewers call in. No cap conversation. We going all in. It's the weekly wrap up, so enjoy the show. You're now rocking with the best. Let the good times